I'm designing a custom Lego set of my childhood home for my dad. This is day 36. We've got 3 rules: a 20-minute video every day, hence the 20-minute timer, no editing, show some progress with our bonus rule, let's yap. That's just, let's talk. Pull up your project and work too, as a, or not work, but just, enjoy your project, building or creating whatever you're creating, while I'm doing mine. Um, let's see. I low-key want to start doing a topic every day because I enjoy talking about like something specific. It's been fun, like just being able to like use my voice. I know I've talked about that in previous episodes, but like I've like had to keep, I don't know, just never really just felt like I couldn't use it. I've had periods in my life especially that felt like I was silenced. So it's nice to like be able to use it. And I hope all y'all have opportunities to do that for your own lives. Okay, what do we need to add here? We need to add the, I realized too, like, couldn't we just use the normal, like the normal 1x1 things here? Like, I know I was doing these, but like, what if instead I just use these? I feel like that's a better look, right? Does it not work? Like, is it just, it's got to just be slightly like different proportions or whatever. Um, let's try this. But like, I can't see where did this go? Um, I don't know. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Um, okay, what were we talking about? Something about, oh, voice, but I think I've said enough about that. Um, but yeah, so I really look forward to making these videos every day. Um, yeah, it's honestly one of my favorite parts of every day. And so it's been a blast. Um, and I'm excited to just keep doing it for like forever. I'm interested to see how it's going to change though with different projects. Like even on this one, I'm like low-key tempted to like do some graphic design in here. I really like Figma. It's free, and I mean, honestly, I've got a lot of background in. Well, actually, I'll get to that in a sec. But I like I like the variety, right? Like I like making things in a ton of different mediums. Which, by the way, I like this better. Like I don't know why I was using the other piece. This one just works better. We'll fix this. Well, yeah, let's see if we can actually fix this real quick. I do think I'm just gonna switch these out entirely. There we go. But that's good for now. Um, what was I saying? I love the different mediums, right? So like I've never actually built a Lego set like this before. Um, but it's been a lot of fun. And so I'm trying to do the same thing, or I'm just trying to do like a ton of different things, like that's like a huge part of the fun for me is just trying something new. So I'm excited to see like what else we can do. I've done a lot of okay, so that's when I was talking about history. So I've done a lot of 3D printing in the past. I guess you can't see it, but I've got a 3D printer. I want to get a new one, so I almost want to wait to do 3D printing projects until I've got enough followers to get. I really want a Bamboo Labs one. I've got an Ender 3 right now, so it works, but it's always a pain to get it working. You spend as much time just like, okay, Okay, so sorry, I was just trying to do the finishing touches on this room. I think I'm gonna ignore this table. We already don't have a ton of room here. I want to put this mirror up on the wall because it's in some of the other rooms of the house. So I feel like it's a good, like this one right here. It's exactly the same thing here. So I guess I did that down one notch. So let's do that. But yeah, so what was I saying? Um, oh yeah, 3D printing. Like I first got into it, what, like, I don't know. I was young. My parents got me like the cheapest Chinese brand 3D printer they could. I think it was like 400 bucks at the time. So it was a big purchase. But it was of a, um, let's go 2x1. Not that. Yeah, an XYZ printer, a brand no one's heard of because guess what? They're not that good. But it got me into it. It made me like I learned. I don't think I'd asked for it. I think my dad had just seen it and was like, "Yo, my kid needs this." Um, and so they gave me this printer and it kicked off a whole like years of my life of I learned CAD programs. So through school, I could always get, because I was a student, I could always get some free license. And so I started on SketchUp. I guess I started on SketchUp. Maybe it wasn't free in high school. No, I think well, SketchUp was free just in general. But it was just not great, like pretty quick I realized it's like drawing by hand, like if I say I wanted to make this room different size, I couldn't just like select this and shift it over and everything else would shift. I couldn't just define this dimension or anything. It's like I had to like rebuild it, and it was just like always a pain. Uh, if I changed up anything after the fact, it just was terrible. So never liked SketchUp, as you can tell, I'm not a big fan. Oh, am I missing a layer to that? No, that's only got one layer. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, tripping. So yeah, did SketchUp for a while, and then eventually got into Fusion 360. So like I was able to get a license through school, just like having a student email, and it meant that I could get it for free. And so then I did Fusion. I love that one. I still love that one. I still use it regularly. Yeah, this is the living room we need to finish. Like that's part of the kitchen. But first, this room. I'm gonna do this. This is that like den. So this room right here. The way this photo was positioned is basically like that. We've got this door, the entryway there, and the window. Same way over here, we've got this door, entryway, and the window. Okay, so we need a curved entryway, and let's bring that like ceiling down. Yeah, that's probably a good height right there. And then we need the curve. So I guess that one's a 4 wide. And let's see, 1 by 4. Yeah, that's gonna do it. That makes it easy. Yeah, so easy to this day. I'm no longer a student, but somehow I still have access to it. Not sure how that works. Maybe it's a free one, but I didn't think it was. So for whatever reason, I still have that. So that's been awesome. And okay, do they really not have a? They just have a 4 wide or a 3 wide. Well, that's or 4 wide or a 2 wide. There's no 3 wide. Yeah. How do we want to do that then? I could bring this wall down. You know what? I might just bring this wall out one more. Could just do like just 1x8s, right? So yeah, love Fusion 360. So I do stuff on there. Wait, no, that's too much. So I guess we need a 6. Yeah, still do stuff with it. And love it. And so I'll definitely do some more with it. But yeah, the question's just, do we I'm gonna have to alternate these for strength. If I can wait until I can get a free printer, like I'm trying to do that. I'm not sure like how big you got to be, but I feel like I'll have made it as a maker YouTube channel if not if. Remember, we're trying to we're trying to talk in certainty rather than wishful thinking. So when I make it, I'll be able to get that because I swear like every maker channel has been sponsored by Bamboo Labs printers and gets a free one for their project. So I think that'd be sick, and just dream come true. So that's definitely it's one of those like random things. I feel like everyone's got those random things. It's like I'll know I've made it if blank. That's mine. It's just if I can get a free Bamboo Labs 3D printer, um, yeah, for a project, I'll know I'll have made it. That's the other sick thing with like maker channels is like they always end up getting these sick sponsorships that really just like give them more tools so they can make more cool things. I don't even know if they make any money. Like I just know about the printers and other tools they get, like CNC machines or CNC routers and whatever else. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I think that that'd just be so sick. Obviously, I need money to survive, right? Like I can't just subsist off of 3D printers, but like I love the 3D printers. So, okay, I think that captures that arch pretty well. Um, so yeah, so next we've got, yeah, the layout of the couch. How do you make a comfy looking couch? Like feel repetitive, just doing like tiles or tiles and bricks, but also like I don't know what else to do here, you know? Um, let's do maybe a 2x2. So we want it to come up, I mean, fairly close. I also want it like, I do want it like all the way back, like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to do with 3D printing. There's a bunch of other ones I want to do. Like I love graphic design stuff too. I'm not great. I'll say that. Like, um, I took a couple design classes in college. I thought I was going to go into industrial designing, you know, throwback to 3D design and 3D printing. And so I was like, I felt like product design, aka industrial design, was a good, I don't know, something I could do with that, you know. I felt like that would pique my interest, and it did. I enjoyed it, but ultimately, I mean, honestly, there was nothing wrong with it. Like, I hate to say it, but I was a freshman in college and kind of squandered my opportunity there. I took the intro classes and just didn't give them the time and attention they needed. And so I kind of did terribly. And the stuff that it was clear that like it came pretty naturally. Like the content itself, like I have no doubt that I could have learned it and done well, but just at the time, like I grinded in high school so that like I got scholarships that paid for most of it. Um, because my parents were very much the type of like, and there's six of us, so like can't blame them too much, but they were definitely like, you're on your own, and they'd always said that. So I grinded in high school, um, so that I could pay for college because I was trying to go to college. I knew that, um, and I was good at school. I feel like I would say it came naturally, pretty naturally to me. Um, and so then, yeah, but I worked hard. Like that was, I did robotics. That was my like sport. And I did, um, let's do, realizing now, I almost want to make these as fully separate sections because it is a sectional and I feel like that'll give the right vibe better. Um, but yeah, grinding in high school, got scholarships that covered most of college. But then by the time I got to college, I was so burnt out. Like, that's the downside they don't tell you about is like you can only work so hard for, I mean, you can only work 110% for so long, and then you just burn out. And so I got to college and was burnt out and was just like, all right, I'm gonna have fun now. And I had fun. I met a lot of people. I had no social life in high school. I mean, like I had my school friends, but like outside of school, I didn't hang out with anyone. There was no like weeknight or weekend like parties or hang out with anyone. Like not just parties, but just hang out with anyone. Like I just didn't. Um, so I was very boring in high school. But like, you know what? It's what it cost to like do what I did. But then the shame is that I kind of squandered that when I got to college. Um, and realized that, you know, all that work had just gotten me there. And then now that I was there, it was all starting over, you know, like it didn't matter what you did in high school at that point. Like you're in college now and it's a whole nother game. So um, yeah, definitely learned my lesson there. But it's an expensive one for sure. And ended up costing me an extra year there. So I ended up getting student debt despite scholarships. Um, oh, they do have these. Hopefully it's actually in the right color though. Yeah. Okay, so that's a problem though. We do need to fix that one. Um, so yeah, what were we saying? Talking about um, uh, fleet. Talking about my freshman year. Yeah, so did the industrial design courses. I liked them, but they required a lot of work. Like you can't shortcut it. There is no shortcut. It's very much you put in the work every day to like you got to put in a lot of hours to get good at art. Like I've got a lot of respect for artists and for designers because it's like it doesn't matter if you've got natural ability, you also just got to put in a lot of hours to master techniques and um, just get good, you know? So, and I just didn't put in the time. And so all the professors were were really nice and were like, dude, you've got some ability here. They were also like, but you're not putting in the work you need to do it. And so I didn't get in, and it was ultimately like, do I want to retake a whole year of school, like essentially start over, or do I want to move on and do something else? Um, at the time, I think too, it was kind of hitting me that like, um, oh, that's why I can't do that. Okay. Sorry, just trying to figure out what was going on here. I think that means that back here, yeah, we need a 1x1. Um, it meant that like industrial designers just don't make good money. They just don't. Um, and so it's kind of like, do I really want to put in all this work for something that's not going to financially reward me, and I'm forever going to be like, might enjoy work, but I'm going to be stressed about money my whole life, or do I want to try to pivot? And honestly, I chose pivot. I was like, you know what? Maybe this is my sign. And so I was like, let's try business school, you know? And so I switched to that and did jumped around to a lot because I went over there and was like, yeah, this sucks, you know? And so I tried marketing, tried finance, and eventually though, luckily I found information systems. And I was like, you know what? I actually like this. Like I've always been technical. Um, like obviously I did robotics in high school, and then and here was a major in the business school that supposedly could make good money, but also um, was kind of in that same ballpark of um, like still had some stuff I was interested in, you know, and like yeah, there was definitely the people doing it to do IT, and I did not want to do IT. Um, but overall, it felt like a good match. So, and importantly, my trash freshman year GPA that I was still struggling to fix, um, I could still get in. I squeaked in, I'll say. I got waitlisted and then luckily squeaked in. I was at the very cusp of what they allowed in, period. So like they almost didn't even consider my application because my GPA. But I was able to get in, and then sorry, I'm gonna reset this because we're mid-story. I'm cruising here, having a good time, so I don't want it to end. We gotta get this TV in here, and I want to do something for those paintings. I think I'll do another sticker, honestly. I know there's a lot of stickers, but I just think those details are gonna really sell it. Um, so yeah, and then what was I saying? So yeah, I got in to the program and grinded, and I got good grades. I brought up my GPA a ton. Um, I was focused, at that point I felt driven, and I kind of realized I'd got my second chance and I wasn't going to squander it. And let's see, let's go modified. And so yeah, then I did that and saw it through to the end. Graduated. I ended up doing the 4+1 to get a master's degree, since I found out that made even more money. I think it was on average from my specific program, it made more in like the increase that first year was more than the cost of tuition for the year. So it's like, okay, if I delay 1 year, pay one more year of tuition, then I'll make that money back in the first year. And yeah, I missed out on a year of working, like of making an income, but it would just set me up so well long term that I was like, I gotta. And that was part of the reason I ended up staying in Utah and BYU way longer than I would have wanted to. Was just at the end of the day, it's like it was so much cheaper to just finish out the program than to like try to transfer somewhere and start over and have to do a full 2 years, right? So, and they give a good deal because it's like they want their people to finish out there, right? It's like an upsell for them. So, um, yeah, so I did finish out there. So the only downside is now I've got the only thing on my resume, the only education on my resume is BYU. And so then every time I have to be like people see BYU and I get that face and I have to be like, but not like that. Not like that. I'm not that kind of BYU person. You know what I mean? And so it does suck to have that, especially when it's like, I don't know. I've got plenty of my own stories from it. So it's like, it's tough to be like confused with, rightfully so. Like, I get it, right? Like, if I were me seeing mine too, I'd be like, oh, this kid spent or did all of his degrees at BYU. Like, that says something about him. Um, and I would probably fall into that same trap, judging people about it. But anyway, I think it's worth just knocking it out. Okay, sorry guys. So I'm thinking about those paintings. I'm realizing I can do the 2x2. Wrong screen. But then it's like just one solid wall of stuff. Oh, I gotta put this chest in. That chest, I don't even know where it initially came from, but I know my parents had it for a long time. The piano in there, by the way, my mom had gotten for free on Facebook Marketplace. They were like, if you can move it, you can keep it. And so I think she literally threw it into I can't remember if she paid like $200 to like a moving company or if she just threw it in the back of the truck. Not threw it, obviously, but like moved it herself. I can't remember now. I don't know. I'd have to ask her. I'd be curious. Either way, she got a killer deal on it. Um, let's see what this looks like if I do a 2x2 thing. Let's go brick modified. So yeah, I think this is a very long-winded way of saying that I like all the different mediums. I've done painting in the past. I like that. I've done I feel like this is solid backdrop. I mean, I think you'll be able to tell it's a TV versus two other things. The other thing I could do is actually make this come out from the wall more, just so it's clear that it's something different. I've also thought about doing things like, so 3D printing and design, some graphic design stuff. I think that was the point of that whole story, was just to say like, I can do 3D design stuff, or I can do graphic design stuff, Can't promise it's going to be like the best thing in the world, but it's also not going to be the worst thing in the world. Like, I'm not going to say I'm super good or anything, but and obviously like any real graphic designer is going to be 10 times better than I am. But I'm also not going to be the worst one at it, you know. Um, y'all will be satisfied. Let me say that. It's just, did I put in the wrong piece back there? No, that one's right. Is this one just not right? Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. That's why. Okay, what is going on here? There we go. Wait, that one really is blank, right? Yeah. Um, so yeah. So that'll be a lot of fun. Just stretch those muscles that I haven't done. I've done a little bit here and there with, but nothing crazy recently. Okay. And then I'll turn those into paintings. So yeah, so this will be fun to do. And then I got to do that chest in the front. So probably just 1x3 to keep it all even. Oh, bro, don't freeze on me. Let me save real quick. Yeah. So graphic design, 3D printing. What else should we do? I'm trying to think what the other projects I'd kind of thought about doing were. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to make this because the front face of this chest is like carved, like a facade. Not a facade, what's the word? It's a carved thing there. So I think that'd be a cool one to throw in there. But like, how do I make this look like it's got a lot of detail? I don't know. We'll come back to that. I feel like we've got to a good spot on that room, honestly. I'm not gonna put in the piano, there's just not room. And honestly, I'll probably leave this whole wall blank. Like, I don't know what's actually what they ended up. Maybe they didn't put anything there because they had the piano in front of it. I don't know. But I'm thinking maybe we move on to this area, and then my parents' wing, and then fix this, and then put on the base, and then I think we're about there. Then we'll get into the graphic design, which will be fun, and the instruction manual. So that'll be cool. All right, see y'all later.